Have you lost someone special in your life and you're looking for ways to honor and remember them? I understand how important that is in the mourning process as both a therapist and someone who has lost both my siblings. I have found 6 meaningful ways that has helped me and many others on their grief journey. And at the end of the video, I'll be sharing 2 additional ways that I continue to honor my brother 30 years later. So, what does it mean to honor our loved ones, and why is that important? It's pretty simple. Honoring a loved one involves remembering, celebrating, and paying tribute to their life, to their values, and the impact that they had on others. This can be done through various ways and meaningful actions, whether it be rituals that you do just to keep their memory alive or just in sharing memories. It's just a way to acknowledge the significance of their life. And when we find ways to honor and remember our loved ones, this helps in our emotional healing and helps preserve their legacy. And engaging in activities that honor a loved one, it can be a crucial part in the grieving process. It fosters a sense of continued connection with them. It helps one give meaning to their life and death and provides us with a sense of purpose. Lastly, it allows the celebration of the loved one's life rather than just focusing on their death. So, let's dive in. 6 ways that we can honor and keep their memory alive. Number 1, create a memorial. And what does that look like? It's maybe just setting up a dedicated space in your house where you might have pictures or a candle and just other mementos that you have that remind you of that person. It also could be just a quiet space that you go to when you want to remember them. Maybe you have photo albums there or you have special items that are theirs. It also can be something outside. It could be a garden that you plant, or there are memorial gardens that people have like in the community, and you might be able to add to that garden. Maybe it's a tree or it's a bench or a stepping stone. And there's also memorial websites. You could create your own, or you could go on other ones that are out there and add what you want to have of your loved one. And this space, whether it be virtual, a garden, in your home, this can serve as a place for reflection and remembrance. And it's your special place. And I know for myself, I have like a candle and then I have some pictures. And then certain times during the year, like whether it be a birthday or an anniversary, I might buy flowers and set them there. And I light the candle and it's just something I can do to help me remember and honor them. Number 2, establish a scholarship or a fund in their name. And that would be like you can create a scholarship at a local school, whether it be a high school, it could be even a grade school like that they went to. I know people who have done that, or a college, or you could contribute to a charitable fund in their name to help support that cause that was important to them, or a cause that might be important to you that reminds you of your loved one. There's so many ways that you could do this. It not only honors their memory, but it also continues their legacy of giving. And I've had people that I've known personally and professionally in my practice that started scholarships, football scholarships in their local high school in the name of their loved one, athletic scholarships, art scholarships, and they had it in their memory. And then they had a board, and they would every year pick who they thought most fit the criteria that they came up with. So there's all kinds of creative ways that you could establish something like that in your loved one's name. Number 3, participate in or organize an event that has meaning to you, that is related to the causes that were important to your loved one, or it could be how they may have passed away. So people do cancer walks or diabetes walks or walks for suicide awareness. One of them that I have done is AFSP's Out of the Darkness walk, and that was really amazing to me doing that. It was a 20-mile walk that you start at night and then you walk through the night out of the darkness, and like by the time you get there it's usually sunrise, and it was really moving. And just there was a community there too. So being around other people that have gone through this loss or this cause was important to them was also very helpful. And I was able to do it in my brother's name. So that also was helpful. And I've organized events, local walks and runs that you could do for a certain cause that would be meaningful to your loved one. Some people just will do charity fundraisers, like they'll go to them or they organize them themselves. You might even just do like a community day where you do something like plant trees in memory of your loved one. And there's organizations all over that do things like this. So there are things to look for. I know too, something that was important to one of my brothers was hurricane relief. They lived in the Florida Keys, my family, and when these hurricanes hit, they hit hard. Some people lost everything. And I remember it being important to my middle brother, and he would donate a lot of his own stuff to help others. So that was something that I ended up doing a few times just in his memory, and I wasn't sure how else to contribute to try to keep his memory alive. So that's what I was starting to do and think of. There's another thing that I have organized, and it'll be 23 years, that again has been in my middle brother's memory, but also for other people. And it's a vigil that I run every year, and it is for those who lost loved ones to suicide. So we do it on World Suicide Prevention Day, and it is in my local county here at a park. And in the beginning, there was not much like this around. So I would have a lot of people from the tri-state area come because it was a place that they all could remember and honor their loved one. They could say their name or have someone else say their name and do something in their memory. And I know how important that is to so many people. And that's something I continue to do every year because I know it's helping others, and we're remembering those people that have passed on. And you've seen some of these pictures that I've just been showing of the vigil, and it's a beautiful experience. I've also gone to different vigils. I've gone to overdose awareness vigils, and I've gone to vigils for cancer awareness. So there's all different types of vigils that you might be able to participate in, if not start one yourself. If you are benefiting from this video, please give it a like and let me know in the comments below, and hit subscribe for more videos like this, or let me know other types of videos you would like to learn about or hear about with grief and trauma and mental health. So, number 4, share stories and memories. I know that may sound basic, but it really isn't, because if you've been through grief like I've been through grief, people want us to kind of forget, or not forget. They want us to just keep moving on quickly, and they get uncomfortable, and they may not talk about things, or people might be afraid if I talk about this, it may upset you. So sometimes people aren't talking. Sometimes they're not sharing stories or memories. It's so important for us to talk about our loved ones with family and friends. It's so important. It's important for us so that we can continue these stories and we could share with others to help keep their memory alive, and just so it's vivid and it's there in front of us. Sometimes it can feel so isolating when we feel like we can't talk about our loved one or these memories because maybe we're afraid we'll make other people uncomfortable, but that's not true. That's a myth. And other people, it's amazing, want to talk, but sometimes they're trying to tiptoe around us. So Sharing stories and talking about memories is another one that's so important. And like I said, people want to remember. They want to talk about this, and it's so important to do so. Number 5, celebrate their life on special occasions. So that could be birthdays, anniversaries, or other significant dates. You might want to gather family or friends to celebrate your loved one's life. I have had clients who would, on the anniversary, get a close group of their friends of they lost their child's friends, as well as some close family, and maybe it was 10 or 15 people, and they would go to lunch at a favorite restaurant of their sons, and then they would go to a local park and they would do a balloon release, or they would just do something like maybe play a game, like a football game. They did different things each year to remember their loved one. So there's different things. You could share stories. I've had people that have done that. They had, on the anniversary, they would have like a get together, some type of celebration, and they would have different people get up and share stories or bring pictures. You could also make their favorite foods. I know for me, quite a few years, I made dishes that were my brother's favorite foods. And that was just a way that I could remember. On their birthdays, may sound, I don't know, crazy, but I baked birthday cakes for them. Obviously, they were not there, but I wanted to remember and still celebrate their birth and just find a way for me to remember and honor them. On their birthdays or on holidays, it was really difficult for me to be able to, in the beginning, to know what to do, because I would usually maybe get them a card and get them a gift, give them a call, and then not having that action to do was very tough. So what I did in the very beginning is I decided I was still going to go buy a gift, but what I did was I bought a gift that I would probably buy my brothers. I lost both my siblings, and I then donated it to a cause that I thought that they might like, or that I knew that they did like. So that really did help me, because it was a ritual. I was used to going out and buying these birthday gifts, and then I couldn't do it. So being able to go buy it and then donate it in their name really meant a lot to me. And again, it was keeping their memory alive. I've also had clients on birthdays, again, or anniversaries, do, like I think I said already, the balloon releases. And I know a lot of people are not fans of that, but they have done that. They've also done butterfly releases. I had someone just do that last year, and they brought back some pictures to show me. And it was actually really beautiful to see that. They all had these butterflies and they released them at the beach. And the beach was a special place to their loved one who passed on. The other thing that I did in the very beginning was my mother-in-law would get a mass. She would ask me first. So she would say, would you like a mass said in your brother's memory, my brother Jeff? And I was like, sure. And every year she would get a mass for the day that he passed. And then we would go to the mass, and she would go with me and my husband, and we would maybe have something to eat after it, or go back to her place and have something to eat. And she also did that every year on the anniversary of her husband's death. And the family would go to the mass, or at least come over after it and have lunch or like a late breakfast. So that was another way that you could honor them on these special days. Number 6, plant a tree, or like I said earlier, or a garden. Now, planting a tree or creating a garden in the memory of your loved one can be such a beautiful and lasting tribute. And some people have done this, and it then became more of a community garden, or a place that the other people in the community who are grieving could go to. We have a couple in our area that people have done, and they're absolutely gorgeous. Now, the garden might be there, but people might then donate like a certain type of flower or a plant, or like I said earlier, they have stepping stones and they would have their name on it, or benches. When these different ones came up in my area, I just had to go see them, and I didn't know these people, but they were absolutely gorgeous. And it just was nice to go around and you could kind of get a sense of the people that they were honoring. You kind of got a sense of who they were a little bit by what they had there. So that is one way that you could honor your loved one. I was able to plant a tree in one of our local county parks. Now, I didn't honestly plant a tree by myself. I was saying at the vigil I run every year that I think it would be really nice, instead of just once a year we come here, we had a little space that maybe people could come and remember. And I was talking about planting a tree, and somebody donated a tree after that vigil. They owned a tree farm, and they were like, I'll donate a tree for you. And they donated this beautiful tree. So they came out with my husband and planted this tree. I just probably took pictures. I did very little because it was pretty hard to dig. So we have this beautiful tree now that you can see in these pictures. And I will go and I'll decorate it at Christmas time, or I like try to keep the mulch up around it. I've noticed when I've gone back several times, people will come and they leave notes or they hang little ornaments like throughout the year. So that's another way that you could remember your loved one. Now, here's a couple other ways that I have honored my brother and continue to honor my brother is by writing and sharing. And you could journal. A lot of people like to journal, and you could write memories or you could write letters to them. It could be a personal way that you could honor and remember them, or you could share it. There are virtual websites that people will put things up to share their writings. What I just did it recently, was I would do things in therapy with people, helping them write, because some people are like, I don't know what to write. And so we would come up with prompts or we would do things. So I was able to come up with 2 workbook and journals for people. And they are these 2. One's for Mended Piece by Piece, and it's for navigating a workbook and journal, navigating your grief with hope. And this is for any type of loss that you've been through. This one is if you lost a loved one to suicide specifically. And both of them have prompts in there that you could do, but it's also a guided grief workbook that is going to help you through the grieving process. And it will give you just enough information about what's going on and help you understand and help you move through your grief. But there's also sections in there where you are able to put memories, pictures, write your loved one letters. You are able to just put significant events that might be in there that you want to, keep together. And you can keep it in this one spot. And that was something that I was doing, which it comes into number 8. I was helping people create memory books. And that's how these 2 workbooks came out. And I did that in both of my brothers, in their names. One, I lost, like I said, I lost to suicide almost 30 years ago. And then the other brother I lost 10 years ago to an overdose. So I was able to do these workbooks in their memory, and that helped me. And it was something that 30 years ago that I was truly searching for and was not able to find. So I was able to create it and was doing that with people coming into therapy. We were creating these memory books. They were bringing in pictures. We were putting them together, kind of like a, maybe collaging, but it was more of a memory book for them. And they had the different journal prompts. They had different things that they could put in, but like blank pages we would put in so that later on they could put things as they came up. And what I found in doing this was a lot of people appreciated it and would contact me years later and say, I'm so glad we did this because I didn't remember a lot of this. I forgot like my dad's favorite, whatever it might be, or I forgot about that memory and I was going through the book and it just helped me remember. We all think we're going to remember things and truthfully we don't. So this really could help somebody. You could also do a memorial video. That's when people put those pictures all together and they are able to share with other people this video that they've done. Now, when I've also had people, this is like the bonus. I've had people create a memory book a different way, and that was usually around holidays. And let's just say Christmas, for example. And I got this from somebody else years ago, was when people are coming and visiting, you could have them write down a memory of your loved one and then place it in their stocking, because the stockings can be very sensitive at the holidays and a hard thing, you don't know what to do. And then on the morning of, when it's just you guys, Christmas morning or whatever holiday or time you want to do this, you open up these memories and you read them just with your family. Now, what I've had people do was they liked that idea and it wasn't a holiday, so they would send an email or call people, send a text, whatever, and say, hey, I'm looking to do some, put it on Facebook. Could you share with me some memories? Could you write up some? And then they put all these memories together and put them in a memory book and then went through it. And I've had people bring them in, and they are the most beautiful books. And they've also told me that they didn't know about a lot of these different memories. Even some parents that did it, and they lost a child, and their other children wrote these memories that they didn't know about, and how much it meant to them to have those memories and to know that. And it also helps the people that are writing the memories, because it gives them a way to remember and to move through their grief. So there are just a couple ways that you can continue to honor and remember your loved one. And just remember, honoring our loved one helps integrate their memory into your life in a positive and an enduring way. It provides a foundation for ongoing love, respect, and remembrance that can support and heal and give you some resilience when you are facing such tough times and loss. It brings a lot of hope to many. To review, 6 ways to remember and honor your loved one. Number 1, create a memorial. Number 2, establish a scholarship or a fund. Number 3, participate in or organize an event. Number 4, share stories and memories. Number 5, celebrate your loved one on special occasions. Number 6, plant a tree or a garden. And then the additional 2 is write and share with others, or create a memory book or a memorial video. Please share with me your creative ways that you have honored your loved one in the comments section, so that I can maybe share with others and learn from you other ways that we can honor our loved ones and continue to keep their legacy alive. And if you want to hear more like this, please be sure to hit the subscribe button below and follow for more.